Hey guys, today we're going to build on what we talked about yesterday. Yesterday we reviewed the plot pyramid, and on that plot pyramid, one of the components was conflict, and we identified that as a central problem or obstacle that a character must overcome in order for the story to be complete. We also talked about how conflict does in fact set into motion the majority of the plot, beginning with rising action, building to climax or turning point, then falling action, resolution, and denouement. Today I want to talk to you about two specific kinds of conflict. The first kind being internal conflict. An internal conflict is simply a struggle that's within the character, and it causes the character to really kind of debate or wonder and think about what they should do. So a couple of examples of that might be if a character has to make a really tough decision, we would consider that to be, let me scooch that over just a little bit, we would consider this to be an internal conflict. So maybe the character is trying to decide if they really should tell their parents the truth about something that happened between them and their brother or sister. That would be an internal conflict. Another time that a character might have an internal conflict is when they have to decide really kind of the same thing, whether or not to do the right thing. So maybe it's this character saw someone hit someone else's car in a parking lot, but no one else knows about it. Do they tell or do they not tell? Basically, we can think about internal conflict this way. In internal conflict, all of the problems are happening inside the character's heart or mind. The other kind of conflict that I'd like to talk to you about is external conflict. Let me see if I can get my papers to work here. So external conflict is a struggle outside of the character, between the character and an outside force. Now that can be the character and another character. So that could be a book in which one character is really shy and they're being bullied by another character. That is an external conflict. Another type of external conflict could be if society views your character one way. Let's say your character has a handicap and society believes your character is not capable of playing sports. Then we would consider that, just trying to make sure this stays on the camera, guys, an external conflict. That would kind of fall into this category of society thinking one way about your character. And I'm having trouble fitting all of these on here. Here we go. And then we have one more type of external conflict, which would be if your character is ever physically in danger from, let's say, a storm or an animal, something like that. That would be your character having to find somewhere to hide in a crisis. All of these things, what's important to remember is that they are happening outside of our main character. Where all the conflict is in the circle here or in the character's heart or mind. In external conflict, all of the conflict is happening outside of the main character. Hopefully that'll help you really to have a deeper understanding of internal and external conflict so that when we start talking about how these conflicts help us to understand our character's motivation, you'll be able to draw those conclusions and do that deep thinking right there in your own text. Thanks so much.